I also had to learn about the importance of asking questions and documenting. I cannot stress that enough. And when I'm talking about documenting, I mean, like, who's the doctor? Who's the nurse? You know, what medications are they prescribing? What time does this particular nurse or doctor come on shift? And don't feel like you're ever asking too many questions, because that's your loved one. And if you have to advocate for them, if they can't do it themselves, then you have to ask questions. So this is just a general overview of how I will break down different segments of different things that I've learned along this journey, to maybe potentially help and encourage somebody else out there who may be in a similar situation with their loved one. I also learned about the power of having faith and giving testimonies. The word says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And boy, do we have testimonies, and are still having testimonies to this day. So I just want to encourage you, to let you know that this is doable, and you don't have to worry about doing it by yourself. Now, you may physically be in a situation where it is just you and your loved one, but again, if you're a believer in the Most High, He is with you, and His Ruach HaKodesh, or as some would say, the Holy Spirit, He's with you. He's with us, and we have to build ourselves up and have enough courage and trust Him, because like I said, there was a point at the beginning of this journey, where I had to be honest with the Most High and say, I don't trust you. And that hurt to my core to hear me say that about Him. But I had to go through that so it could come out, it could be revealed, and so I could get back to the basics. So I just wanted to come on and kind of give you a general overview of what took place in the beginning of this journey. Once my mother had a stroke, again, we were at a funeral out of state. She had a stroke. We were taken to a hospital that was not known to us, and later found out it wasn't one of the best hospitals a person could be in, not because of the building itself, but because of some of the people who worked there. And we have to realize, they're doctors, nurses, medical staff to do a job. Now, you would think, you ask a little child, what do you want to be when you grow up? And some of them say, oh, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be this or be that. But typically, if they say those type of things, any type of things that provides a service, doctors, teachers, nurses, things of that nature, typically children will say, because I want to help people. That's typically how people start out, but that's not always the case. Especially if you have people with bias, if you have people that have prejudices or even racist, so the way they treat you may be a little different than how they treat somebody else. So it's also the reason why it's important that you have people that can advocate for your loved one, people who you have a community that can help work with you to make sure that your loved one is getting the absolute best care that they could possibly get. And then another thing I learned on this journey was dealing with insurance. The difference of insurance from a person who's a senior, because it's different than a non-senior person on insurance and a senior person that's on insurance, because now you have Medicare, or in some people's cases, it may be Medicaid, and there's a difference. Does your person have an Advantage plan, or do they just have a Medicare plan or a Medicaid plan? There's a difference. What type of supplemental insurance do they have? So these are a whole bunch of things I had to actually learn about. Setting up a GoFundMe, I had to do that too. Different things that you just never thought about, 24 hours prior to the situation that your loved one had that changed your lives in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. You weren't thinking about those things. You didn't know about a lot of those things, hadn't heard about a lot of those things. But that's why it's also important to have these type of conversations with your loved ones prior to, just in case something should happen. And then I also learned about the importance of taking care of myself. You know, if I'm not doing the best to take care of myself, then how am I going to be beneficial to my loved one who needs my help? So much to talk about. And I'm looking forward to breaking these things down and providing step-by-step instructions, or providing information that could potentially help you as it has helped me and my mother. So until the next time, thank you for joining us on Ima and Me at Home. I pray you have a wonderful day. Like, share, subscribe, and even leave a comment if you choose to. And we'll see you next time. Shalom, shalom.